بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق والمرسلين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah, He brought for us the story of Talut, the leader of the army for Bani Israel. So this leader, in order to defeat his enemies, the strongest enemies on earth at that time. So they pass by a river and he wants to test his army patience so that he will know which one to choose to have the strongest men to face their enemies. So their test was, when you pass over the river, don't drink from the river. You are allowed only to have a sip of water just to calm your thirst, but not to drink. So the result that many of his army, they didn't listen and they didn't resist their thirst, and they got the drink from the river and disobeying their leaders. So those who drink from the river, they are removed from the army, and the remaining was only minority. As per the scholars, they said there are only 313 men. Those, the strongest ones, who face the enemy and they defeat him, and they defeat them, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَهَزَمُوهُمْ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. So they defeat them. So what happens with those people? How they become the strongest? They defeat their desires. They resist what they love, and they sustain what they hate. This is the wisdom here. When we defeat what we love and we sustain what we hate, we can beat our desires. We can beat our relax. We can beat our comfort zone, and we can go outside the box to do more and to gain more from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the month of Ramadan, we are practicing this when we defeat our desires by not eating, by not drinking during the daytime, by not having other kind of desires which we need during our life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we are alone at home, we resist. Nobody is seeing us. Nobody can look to us except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told us to attain taqwa, to become more pious, to become more close to Allah. And this is the fasting which we want, to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to have the pleasure of practicing al-ihsan. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah loves al-ihsan in everything. In everything. Al-ihsan is the highest degree of worship towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first degree is being a Muslim, just practicing the worship as a Muslim. And then the second one is a believer. That is the second step. And the highest step is al-ihsan or al-muhsin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves al-muhsinin. He loves those who practice ihsan in everything. So ihsan means that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see Him, but if you cannot see Him, you believe that He is seeing you. This is al-ihsan, and that's why Ramadan and fasting get the maximum rewards among other worships towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the maximum rewards can be achieved when we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything we do, in everything we practice. We know that He is looking at us. We know that He is watching us. We know that He wants the perfection in everything we do. As the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah loves those who make their job perfect. So perfection is our goal in this month. To be perfect. To be as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves most. So the perfection here is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way He wants, the way He loves. So to seek perfection, it is a few days. Then we can get the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the certificate of having the best degree ever. And we want this Ramadan to be the best. So al-ihsan in everything. So practice al-ihsan in everything. Everything you do, when you read the Quran, when you fast, when you care about others, when you help others, when you go at home, you deal with your children and family, you deal with your friends and relatives, you deal with your co-workers and workers, with your boss and with your sub-workers. So practice al-ihsan in everything. That is the perfection. Keep in mind, we can reach that by resist what we love and sustain what we hate.